Peace, family. Welcome back to the Campaign TV show. I am your host, Brother King Cam, and today I would like to thank you and welcome you back to starting up the podcast again. I know we've been down for a couple of episodes, but we back in full effect. And as I told y'all last night, I got a special guest with me who going to be talking to us about entrepreneurship and also going to be talking to us about his heavy influence in the community as it pertains to teaching our young people, family. So again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming, joining us, being a part of this show. I want you to like, I want you to comment, engage as much as possible because we want to get this out. We want to get this out to as many people to tap in with us. And I just want to thank you all again. So I'm going to also help us out with sharing and engagement so we can get this out to as many people as possible, family. I got some new effects as well on the podcast, so I want to kind of show them all to y'all. You know, DJ Cam in the building. Hey, so I got some new sound effects. I've been messing around with the board and all of that kind of good stuff. So as y'all come on in and comment, let me know where you tapping in from. Again, I'd like to thank you all as we have been going through this transition and me getting a new setup and getting everything squared away again. So we haven't been consistent with the podcast as we were before, but now we settled in. We good to go. I got some fire guests lined up starting tonight. And the brother that I have with us tonight is a brother that I met at Savior's Day a couple of years ago. Man, and he introduced me to his one of his products. And this brother has an immaculate product, a sauce, man, that needs to be in every refrigerator, cabinet, cupboard, countertop across America. If it's not, because my brother's national like that. But I'm talking about none other than Chef Daryl. And you may have seen his sauce. You may have seen the logo. My brother has many different products and things of that nature, but he works in the field of culinary arts. And he's going to be talking to us today about entrepreneurship and the importance of it as it pertains to teaching our youth. So, brother Chef Daryl, how you doing, black man?
I feel great by Allah's permission. Glad to be on your platform tonight and talk to the people. I'm just excited and thankful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, again, we'd like to thank you for joining, big brother, and we appreciate you coming on to, to talk with us and have this discussion and dialogue with us because, as we know, especially with the quarantine and COVID-19, a lot of people were affected in 2020 with the loss of jobs. Many people have been sheltering in place and have seen an economic hit. So, as we know and as we are taught in the Nation of Islam by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that we need to do for self, and said do for self or suffer the consequences. So
That's right.
at that time, I don't think our people or the people could really understand what he was saying when he talked about suffer the consequences. But today in 2021, as we come out of 2020, I think it's become more apparent as to what he meant by suffering the consequences. So with all of the layoffs, all of the economic turmoil that we've been going through, how important is it today to be involved in some type of entrepreneurship?
Well, King, I'm glad that you mentioned that because a lot of our people, especially our young brothers, we come from the streets. And, you know, we out there chopping it up, uh, making moves. And a lot of times we are not exposed to Harvard, Yale, Radcliffe, or any of the schools of higher learning. We're being taught in the alleyways, the byways, in the streets on how to hustle. And I teach young brothers that you have the right idea and the wrong product. And so your mind gets into the point of you may not have been good in math, but you understand that in order to sell these things that you're selling out there in the street, you better know how to, you need to know a little bit about weights and measures. Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah. And my goal is to turn people around from that way of life because it's self-destructive and it's destroying our community. And it's very important to do something for self. Doing for self is a process, and there are three stages. There's a hustle, a hobby, and a business.
Mm.
You have a hobby, you're doing something that you like. Sometime it may generate economics, sometime it may not, but you're doing it because you like to do it. When you're doing a hustle, The goal is to galvanize them skills that you have in whatever that hustle is. You could be selling CDs, you could be selling T-shirts or whatever, but you're not scaling it, so you're limited to the geographic area that you're selling from. But
Yes, sir.
scaling a business, you have to then study other business people, which requires it requires a lot of study. It requires your ability to read, to write. And if you're not really good at reading and writing, there's visual aids out here now that will help you with this process. As my dear brother Ben X has, these courses and these podcasts that he does where you have the visual. So then you can partner in a tribe with other people who may be sharper in the writing, in the learning skill sets that you may have. But the bottom line is we have to do something because this $600 is an insult.
Mm.
400 years of slavery, 400 years of building a country, locking people up for crack cocaine, locking people up for weed, um, crack cocaine versus powder cocaine in the 90s and the 80s, people getting football numbers locked up in the penitentiary. Now you're out here on the streets. So you have a system that all, regardless of what state you're in, the lawyer, the judge, and the DA all on the same team, paid or not, paid lawyer or not, they're all on the
Right.
same team. And the
Yes,
deck
sir.
is stacked against us. So now COVID comes. You lose your job, you're out on the street, you run in the store, steal something, they're gonna lock you up. So the same creative mind that you had on that block
Mm.
to take them substances that we got into, you can go to the store. Several years ago, I was vacationing in my on South Beach,
Yes,
and
sir.
a gentleman walked up to me and said, "Would you like some water?" I looked
Mm.
around because I thought it was some kind of scam, like, "Water? What you doing out here in the middle of the beach?" Asked me if I want. Yeah, I want some water. Where you got water at? And he
Yes, sir.
pulled out a fishnet bag, and he had ice cold bottled water. I said, "How much the water?" He said, $2. I said, "Yeah, I'll take one." It was nice and cold. It was hitting the spot. My wife was down in the water. So I got one for her. Then he walked away. I said, "Hey, my man, listen, give me two more then." Because water in the hotel was $6
Yes, sir.
for the same bottle. So I said, so then I asked him, I said, how much you do a day? He said, "Oh, I sell about 200 waters a day. And the hotels hate me because I come out here." I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I go to the store, I buy the 48 pack, I put it in the freezer, let it get ice cold. And by the time I'm walking around, it's drinkable.
It's
It's not all,
cold. Yeah.
you know. And I said, I respect that hustle. I respect the man who was walking up and down the main fashion district in my town in Boston with a squeegee, a bucket, and another device with like a cloth on it. And all he'd do is come and say, "I do your windows for $5." I used to manage a store. It take my worker 3 hours to go out there and work it and be milking the clocks. I said, "Sure, I'll pay you the $5. How many windows you do a day?" He said 100.
Yes,
The
sir.
point that we get to is while we're home and we're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook or just doing nothing, looking at people fighting, posting silliness, we need to get involved with some folks that can open up that creative mind and show us how to use that God-given talent so we can sell honest things to the people, not get locked up for it, and make some bread.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because I think people have a similar story of that. As they go out in the highways and byways and they see people selling different things. But I think what a lot of our people don't understand is that when you solely rely on somebody else's company to feed you and your family, then there's no guarantee that that's going to continue forever. So we should always be in the mindset of ownership. And as you mentioned, as we're going to get into products, product development, whether you either already have a product, you go out and buy one, as you mentioned, with the waters and things of that nature, but then also developing products. Shout out to Brother Ben X and the digital real estate course and the ABS tribe, because one of the things that we teach is product creation, product launch, all of the different steps that's needed and necessary for you to be successful. Because when you look at all of the successful entrepreneurs, they have some type of product that they're selling that allows them to be profitable day in and day out. So I think that's very, very important. When did you get started in as far as culinary? When did you know that you were had a gift in culinary arts to help you pursue in that path?
Well, I started working, most of us, in high school, you get a job as a dishwasher or, working in some kitchen somewhere. And I took a liking to it. And the more I got, the more I perfected that, someone on staff noticed. They said, man, we got a course opening. We think you should take it. I took it and I started building upon it. And I started hanging around other chefs. And, you know, cooking comforts me. So I generally put on music. I put on the minister. I put on something in the kitchen and jazz, whatever whatever I'm feeling on that day. I like all kind of music. I don't like country and western, but I
Oh
do.
man, I like country music. You know, my grandmother put me on. She used to listen to country music a lot, so I like country music.
So, some of that I'm an R&B man. I'm old school.
Yes, sir.
So, in there grooving with it, and so it's comforting. And I had several restaurants. The Nation of Islam um, was definitely a great influence because I grew up in a neighborhood where the nation had businesses almost on every corner,
Yes, sir.
and they were very studious. They were clean. It was sharp. And so when I got to an age where I wanted to do something for myself, and I also came into a mosque at a young age. I was 16, 17 years of age, and so when I came in, the brothers would ask me, what line of work are you in? And I really wasn't doing too much. So they said, well, why don't you get out there and try to make something happen for yourself? So I started off with a little sandwich shop, chicken wings, steak and cheese sandwiches, burgers, and that grew into a more expanded menus. And then one of the older sisters taught me how to make the bean pie,
Okay.
and
Okay. Uh oh.
I love bean pie. I never thought mine was good enough,
Mm.
compared to some of the greats that was baking it. So I just kept perfecting it until I got to a point where, if you go to my page, chefdarylsauce.com, or you go to, excuse me, chefdarylsfoods.com, or you go to Chef Daryl's Bean Pie on Facebook, you're going to see a picture. Now, a lot of people put pictures of the bean pie on their page, but it'd be a pie from somebody else's. Then when you get their pie, it don't look like the picture
Mm.
that's on the
Tell
page
him.
that
Tell him.
fit.
Say that. Say that again, Chef Darrell. What they be doing?
They plagiarize. They put a good looking pie on their page, and then when you get theirs, it be some brown chocolate middle. Don't have that thick crust, or don't have that even, that even look. That
Ooh.
nice
Yes,
golden
sir.
cinnamon. Then in the middle of this, it got that thick custard. You know, and so if you want to know what my pie look, if you go to my pages, not only is my face page the pie, but on the page I got several pictures of the pie on the fork,
Uh
somebody
oh.
holding it. So you see that original Nation of Islam custard bean pie look, and you gotta love to cooking as a science.
And
If
that's
you,
your pie. That's your pie.
that's
That's
my
on the website.
that's right. That's my
So
pie.
you ain't got to worry about. Cause see, look, I'm gonna tell you what the youth say. The youth say you got to do this. You gotta
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit.
yeah, you gotta stop that. That's what the youth said. That's capping. When you out here putting out something that don't belong to you, that's capping, family. So I
You know,
just wanted to throw that in there.
we got some salesmen out there. They'd be like, brother, this the one. As brother Ben said, they'd be saying this is the one, and it looked good. So I give them the $5. I get back to my booth at Savers Day. I ease down behind the table, crack it open, and look. Oh man, Sean,
Then it got you.
yeah, man, this jank ain't what it is, as they say. So this jank ain't what it is.
Yes, sir.
I said, brother, you need to get 1 to 5 out the mouth selling me this pie.
Oh man, absolutely. Talk about that. Talk about that. So, what would you suggest as far as the youth when it comes to entrepreneurship? Because one of the things that we also teach in digital real estate and ABS tribe is that you need to find out your passion or your purpose,
Mhm.
right? Finding out your passion and purpose, and then being able to impact the people and monetize through your passion and purpose. So, what advice would you give to the youth as it pertains to entrepreneurship and finding that specific lane that they can grow in?
There was a question you asked on one of the pages about should you pay for information. Now, um, there's so much information. There's nothing out here that is not available. That if you really dig for it, if you mine the field, you will find out. So if you want to learn how to clean sneakers, people out here, they pay, I'm not a sneakerhead, but for those who are, if you pay $200, $300, $400, $500 for a pair of sneakers and somebody step on them, crease them, get some oil, blood on them, whatever it is, you want to bring them to life. You can't just throw a $500 pair of sneakers in the dumpster and go and get you another unless you really floss it, But if you're like me, you're going to want to clean them sneakers off. And so there are kits that you can get. And when I was a boy growing up, young man growing up, they had shoe shine kit. Now, the average man today, when you ask them what a shoe shine box is, they don't even know what that is because they don't wear shoes.
Right.
With boots or Timbs or sneakers or whatever. So if you had a shoe cleaning kit and you set up somewhere on the right block, right corner, with your little box, your little kit, and you really had your toothbrush out and had all the chemicals, and you could, bring somebody's sneakers, say, hey, leave your sneakers here with me for an hour. We'll do what you do. And when you come back, I have your sneakers straight. These are the type of ideas that we've got to inspire our young people. I started off talking about the block, but everybody ain't from the block. We come from all different perspectives. There are people who've never been on a block, come from college, lost their job. Now, if you're working for IBM and you're making $50 an hour, and or you're making $40, or you're making $25 an hour, or $20 an hour. If my job is to sit at a desk and hit some buttons on the keyboard, and I'm getting $25 an hour, and King Cam's job is loading this dump truck full of bricks, he getting the same money as I'm getting, but he's hustling. Man, he said, man, I'm gonna fill this dump truck up in an hour. The man only gonna pay you $25 because that's all you are going to get for that hour. So we have to value our time and understand that if you go out here and sell 100 hot dogs on a cart in an hour at $3 a hot dog, you can make $300 minus your expenses. You probably put $2 in your pocket.
Yes, sir.
Sitting at Walmart, checking somebody out with $8 or $10 or $12 an hour. So we have to understand your value. We have never been taught. They didn't want to teach us the science of mating, the science of warfare, and the science of business. And so we all been told growing up that all you got to do is get out here, get on the block. And that's a dead end. There ain't no retirement game in there. Either dead or you're locked up, or you become a user of the own product that you're selling. So I work with young juvenile detention people locked up in the juvenile detention center. When I'm not cooking and doing this, I'm a life coach, and I work with young brothers, and I have a lot of success with these young brothers because I meet them where they are. Some days I wear a sweatsuit. I might go in there with an Adidas sweatsuit and some Adidas sneakers on, and I might talk to them, have my hat on, whatever sports team I might be repping that day. And then another day I come with a suit and bow tie. Then another day I come in with the chef coat on and talk about cooking. So I have to win them over first and understand I'm not the enemy. I'm not the police. I'm not there to harm you. I just want to know your story because your story is similar to mine because I came up in that same environment. So this is a life passion for me. This ain't just me selling some products and coming on the show to make a couple of dollars. If I can enrich somebody's life, then it makes it all worth the while. I get more passion out of that. So, growing up, seeing it, I think you have to study. Just like somebody saying, I want to be the next LeBron James. Well, you better be on that basketball court all day. You better shoot 3 hours after practice. You better, and then if you do all that and do everything the coach tells you to do and eat right and do all that, it's so competitive past the collegiate level that you may not make it to the pros. That's right. So think that you're going to get the Bugatti, to think you're going to get the Lexus, to think that you're going to have 200 pair of sneakers and gold jewelry and all the things that you see the artists wear. Even the artists had to work. You name any top artist out here today, everybody rapping. What makes you different from the next rapper? Oh, my flow is fire. I can do this and I can do this. Just so can't take. Everybody ain't going to get that hit record. So you got to be committed. Your mind got to be right. Somebody didn't mess with our mind, King.
That's right.
400 years in America, wondering why we hating on one another. Why we using the word niggas ain't gonna never do nothing. We calling
That's
each
real.
other bitches, niggas, and we're neither. We don't
Yes,
know
sir.
that we're kings and queens. We don't know we have an open enemy. We don't know there's a conspiracy. That's really not a conspiracy. It's a fact
Right. Well, I
that
think it's
there's a big net out here to scoop all of us up, and the net's there for me, for you, and for the young brothers. You know, but this teaching has allowed me to sidestep that net and open some doors for myself. And so
yes,
there's
sir.
if you any business that you desire to open up, go on YouTube, Google it, and there's information out here on how to start it. But you first have to believe in yourself. You have to also surround yourself with people that believe in you and people that have vision. And that's why I encourage people to get part of this, to get involved with the ABS tribe, because then you're gonna find other people in there. You ain't gotta ask yourself what the other tribe members are about, because they there trying to get what you're trying to get.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
like if you want to drink, if you smoke weed and you want to smoke, and you know everybody's on the corner of Chamberlain and Brooklyn Park Boulevard,
Oh,
and
RVA in the building. Okay.
if you know that that's the smoking spot, well, when you get to Chamberlain, Brooklyn Park, all you want to know is, yo, hey, who want to throw in with me? Because like-minded people's hanging on that block. So you need to go to another block where people are doing some business type things.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then you're
Absolutely.
a young person that you're not by yourself, and you need mentors. And that's something we normally don't have in the community. Is somebody that's gonna pull you up under their wing and show you the ropes. Everybody got
Absolutely.
this mind, you get yours attitude, and they're making the young brother in the street is not the enemy. He's not the problem. It's old heads that's the problem that didn't want to reach down and help that young man out. Now he done gone astray. Now you want to blame the whole problem of the community on these young brothers running out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You dropped it. You dropped it with that one, big brother. You know, and we talk about bridging that gap. I've talked to several of the older brothers, and you know, it's some that want to bridge that gap because they seen how the ones that came before them didn't want to help them out in their youth, and they don't want to repeat the same history. So I think it's important. Also, you mentioned the crab in the bucket mentality, you know, that a lot of us have, where, you know, once we become successful at something, we don't want to come back and give that same game, or even the opportunity of mentorship or apprenticeship. And a lot of the young people don't think that that is very important. And I don't really understand why, you know, they think it's okay or want to try to go through unnecessary drama and unnecessary pitfalls when you can just get that mentorship. So I think it's very important that we start to set these things up, but also teach about the benefits of mentorship, why it's important, because the open enemy and other races, they have that in place, and it helps them to not necessarily cut corners but avoid unnecessary issues as you go into the journey of entrepreneurship. You know, so I think
Mhm.
that's I think that's very, very key in what we're talking about. So uh with your products, talk about some of your products and how you came to create your Chef Daryl sauce. You already gave us the game on the bean pie, you know, and some of the other things that you have as well. I'm here.
I um I had a restaurant called Salam Sandwich Shop in Boston, and a brother from New York City. His name was Brother John C62X. For
Yes,
those
sir.
who don't know what these symbols mean, that mean that there was three mosques, A, B, and C in New York. Mosque number C has 62 Johns in it. That show you how deep the FOI was back in the first.
Yes, sir.
62 brothers in that particular mosque named John. He was John number 62. And he learned how to make that Shabazz steak and take sauce. And he came back to Boston. We opened up a little eatery. And man, people was coming in. And if you're familiar with cocoa bread, he was the first brother I seen, instead of putting the steak and cheese in a regular sub roll, he would get the Jamaican cocoa bread,
Yes, sir.
American cheese in it, and then throw the steak down in the middle and then put the sauce in it, slamming. And
Yes, sir.
he taught me how to do that. And and then I begin to, 2 o'clock in the morning, all the heads that's out, type of heads is out in the
Mm-hmm.
streets from 12 to 2. They come in there with $100 bill, put it on the counter. Brother D, hook us up. And
Yes, sir.
I'd had them wing dings, chicken going out with the sauce. all hours of the night. And I built a name for myself in that area for being the king of the wing game. You know, sold chicken wings. Back then, I was selling probably $500,000 worth of wings.
Oh, praise be
You know,
to Allah. Yes, sir.
just chicken wings and steak. You know, bought my first BMW. Had bought a condo, and that's when I learned. I said, man, I ain't killed nobody. I ain't robbed nobody. I made this honest bread out here doing this chicken wing stuff. So then I had this recipe, and I came to the city that I'm in now. They was doing the recipe a little different. I had some success with that recipe, but then I met Brother Harry for Able. Able is, for those who don't know, it was a program that the Nation of Islam had where they was, distributing food nationwide, and they wanted an organic version of this sauce. So I took this sauce, went back into using my culinary arts, and I created a organic version of this where I use natural brown sugar, honey,
Mm.
and everybody loved it.
I bear witness. I can bear witness. I anytime I can get me some of that Chef Daryl sauce, I'm gonna get it, and I get it in the twos, in the threes, because I put it on everything. I put it on salad. I put it on the steak and cheese. I put it on the fish. I put it on turkey burgers, brother. I put it on everything. That's how tasteful the Chef Daryl sauce is. So I'm telling you from personal experience, not just because I know this brother, but it's because I actually tasted the product. And if you come
And
to my house, you might see, you more than likely you gonna see some Chef Daryl sauce in the cabinet.
there's really nothing you can't put the sauce on. You can put it on lamb, steak, fish, chicken. You frying chicken. After the chicken is fried, you put it in a bowl, preferably a stainless steel bowl. You put the fried chicken in there, squirt a little bit over the top, shake it. I'm telling you, I got business places that sell these. I have restaurants that now carry my sauce and put it on their wings, and their sales volume has gone through the roof.
Wow.
We have, we selling it from a stand right now with COVID. The delivery business. I'm gonna put your audience on to something. Anybody that wants to get into a restaurant business, go food truck or stand.
Come on now.
And,
The food truck
and
game winning right now.
huh?
I said the food truck game is winning right now.
Right. But if you do decide to go with a brick and mortar, go with a don't go with no big 100-seat, 50-seat restaurant, because you ain't gonna be able to fill up all them chairs for a long time with this virus out there. But the takeout business, so you got all of these delivery platforms. I don't know how many they got in Atlanta, but I know a restaurant here that got 7 platforms that deliver food. He's using all of them, and he's killing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All they're doing is ordering. Everybody got an app on their phone. They order the food and they get out there and they make it happen. We also have the hot and spicy version of the sauce,
Oh, I gotta try that.
and we have the honey mustard.
Gotta try that too.
We also have now these sauces are made in the ATL. I mean, these seasonings right here are made in the ATL.
Okay, okay. Shout out to
Sister,
ATL.
that's right. There's a sister in the ATL, and her company is called Mo Spices. These are low sodium. So see, we suffer from high, as they talk about all these underlying health issues because of COVID. One of the things is we put too much salt and sodium on our food.
Yes, sir.
We drink a lot of soda, high in sugar. Now we got diabetes, we got heart problems. Low sodium is the best way you want to go. And these seasonings taste excellent. You don't need a lot of salt. So it's sea salt in here instead of that regular iodine fake salt, And
Yes,
then
sir.
for those who are still frying their fish, get that lake trout, get that whiting, get them porgies,
Yes, sir.
that had it, whatever you like. We got the chicken and fish breaded mix right here. And all of these, each one of these evolved. So when we first met, I only had the one.
Okay.
And then I went back in the kitchen because people said, man, I like your sauce, but I'm a hot sauce person. I like something a little hot. So then we went ahead and did the hot version.
Yes, sir.
Went ahead and did the honey mustard. We got some other things in the pipeline too. We're getting ready to come out with the peach cobbler,
Oh, wow.
banana pudding. I want to say something to all the brothers that carry the mightiest, the word of God, the greatest newspaper on the planet, the final call.
Yes, sir.
When
Yes,
you
sir.
go out with that paper, have a product with you. Bean pie, pair of socks, shea butter, sauce, something. There are a lot of people who can't get out. and they would love to have some, some dish detergent, uh, laundry detergent, toilet paper, toothpaste, all of these household items that we have. For years, companies used to go door to door. Amway, uh, Maurice, Madam C.J. Walker. If you see that story of Madam C.J. Walker on Netflix, you're gonna see that she went door to door. Can you imagine a young brother that can't find a job takes this newspaper out with some products and make $100 a day, $200 a day? You make much money as you want to make. So when you knock on the door, how you doing today, brother and sister? My name is Brother Daryl Muhammad from the mosque. I got the Final Call newspaper here. No, I don't want that paper. Okay, well, I got the bean pie. I got the squash pie. Do you wear socks? I got socks. I got stockings. I got
Yes, sir.
shea butter. And eventually, fish. And eventually, the person will come around. Maybe they do want the paper. So they get the
That's right.
paper and they get all of these type of things, and they enjoy seeing a salesman coming to them on a weekly basis, spending some money with them. And you give them the product at a good price.
Yes, sir.
Elijah Muhammad taught us the best for less. So I try to keep my prices. My seasonings, go to some of these other sites. My season's only $5.99.
Man, they got
Everybody, every other,
seasoning in the store that's like $10. I mean, that's like
you
$8.
know, Layla Ali got a seasoning this side, a little smaller than this, skinnier for 14.99.
Wow.
Some places they got hot sauce, $20, $15. So we got the bundle going on right now where you get all of this. You get all the seasonings, all the sauces, the bread and mix, and a large bean pie shipped to your door for $50. It's a retail value of 68.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you
And that's
save enough.
$50 including shipping.
That don't include the shipping. And we working it out. I think we got a set fee of shipping is either $9.99 or $11.99, depending on the region, the zone that it's going to. I think Atlanta be the furthest, the
Right.
Carolinas, but we shipping everywhere, and people enjoy it. You go to
Yes,
my
sir.
page, chefdarylsfoods.com. All the reviews is 5 star.
Yes, sir.
As soon as
Praise
somebody
be to
order,
God.
we package their stuff up right then and there. We ship it out. The
Yes, sir.
pies we ship out Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because we don't want the pie sitting in UPS or the post office over the weekends. So we try to give enough time to make sure that pie gets out on time.
Yes, sir.
But
Makes sense. Makes
I
sense.
love what I'm doing, and we are a nation. We should support our own. We should not boycott Black-owned businesses. And let me
Yes,
tell
sir.
you the reason why. Here's the number one critic. Oh man, I ain't buying from no black person. It's too high, or they didn't treat me right. This man been beating us and whipping on us for 400 years. We go in his stores with no problem.
No problem.
The
Say that again.
Indians, the Arabs, the Chinese, every other ethnic group knows this is the secret among them. If you want to become rich, go sell to the blacks. Go sell hair to them. Go sell the hair care product. Go sell the liquor. Go sell whatever you want in their community. They ain't gonna put up no fuss, and they'll pay double for it.
Yes, sir. And the proof is in the pudding because you see all of the different immigrants that come to this country. They come and they set up shop right in the hood. They come right to our community, right smack dab in the middle of our community. Whether it's the Arabs and gas stations, whether it's the Asians and hair care products and beauty supply stores. You understand? Then you have Chinese food restaurants. All of that different stuff is in our community because they understand we are the biggest consumers. We are the
Yes, sir.
biggest consumers, and we are the ninth richest nation as it comes to spending and buying power. So they know that there's wealth in the black community, but because we don't have any unity among ourselves, we distribute all of the wealth to everybody else instead of keeping the money within our community to help build ourselves up. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat, that's in the comments right now. That's liking, sharing, commenting. Shout out Flint, Michigan, that's in the building. Peace, Scientist X. So we got some people coming in. Shout out to Philly that's in the building. Supreme Landscapers LLC. So Chef Daryl, we touching a lot of people right now, and let the people know, as far as how they can go about ordering the food, whether it's the package that you just mentioned, the $50 package that you mentioned, how they can stay in contact with you and up to date with everything that you got going on as well.
One of the things I like to do is I'd like to encourage people to visit our Instagram page, Chef Daryl's Foods. We're on Facebook, Chef Daryl's Foods. The website is chefdarylsfoods.com. For those members who may be in the Nation of Islam who are listening, I'm now an official vendor in the staple goods 2021 order. I think the order is coming up next month. So if you're in a mosque or study group, see your POC, you can order it through your mosque. Just to believe we're just gonna have the sweet and tangy through the staple goods. But we are our nation, and we need to encourage one another and support one another. And other people come in, and I'm not against anyone coming into our community. But do you know what happens when people come to my business? When they call me and they say, Chef Daryl, we have the boys basketball team at the MLK Center. They're trying to go on tour. They won the championship, but we want to get them some fly shorts and t-shirts. Chef Daryl's there. They just set, on my city, they set a church on fire. We don't know all, it's under investigation, but they said, they're running around burning up our churches. Now I'm from the mosque, but I love my Christian family. So when I heard that the church got burned down, Chef Daryl's Foods is giving a donation. When somebody ain't got food and they call me, we're trying to help people in the community. These other people that come into our community, when you walk in, they don't even really want to speak to you in the morning. They don't say good morning. How are you? We got to demand that if you're going to be here for 20 years, working in 30, 40 years in our community, and you mean you don't even know the kids' names in the community?
Good point.
We don't say, if you don't know no English and you're Korean, at least you better learn good morning. How are you? My money is green just like the next man, and we deserve to be treated. We shouldn't be victimized. When we go into these foreign stores, we got some of the people from other countries selling liquor all day long. And I see some of my brothers staggering in there all day buying the package, and they call the police on them like they did the brother out there for the $20. Said he had a $20 bill that was fake or whatever. I mean, we sick.
Right. George Floyd.
Right, George Floyd. We can't hang in front of these places. They'll call the police in a minute. Come on, man. We spend a lot of money. We make millionaires. Black people make millionaires of other people that come into our community. Now, to turn this around, Joe Biden ain't going to do it for us. Kamala Harris ain't going to do it for us. I believe we will get some gains from them being in office.
Yes, sir.
And we got to take advantage of anything that comes through. If you do get a stimulus, if they give you more than 600, learn how to flip that.
Yes, sir.
Don't run out.
My next question. What would you suggest that we do with the stimulus package?
I think if a young person can afford it, in my town, apartment costs anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. And we all say we got boys, and that's my man, that's my ride or die, and all this. But let's say your man's in an apartment and he got 3 bedrooms there, but he only in one. He got one room. He got video games set up in there. I say if that's your boy and y'all get along, split that rent.
Yes,
then go to the wholesale house. Christmas just went by. Whether you celebrate it or not, people buy. You got to find out what people want. You got a hot T-shirt. You go and you get 200 T-shirts and you selling them at $10. That's some paper there. So you got to be able to, or find somebody that's already invested and put your 600 in with them. 3 people together, that's 1,800. 1,800 to buy you a food cart. So 3 people going in on the food cart, they go on Craigslist, and for $2,000, now you own the cart. So my man is during the day, he working at somewhere. When he get off, he come and work the cart. And other man come and relieve him, and he work the cart. Well, he working on Friday and Saturday, you working during the week. The bottom line is, this hat that I got on, the company is called NOIshirts.com. This brother, he went and got all kind of T-shirts and, built it up from the ground up. Go to the mosque and ask them brothers how you can be, put on. And again, If you really want to learn it from A to Z, take $50 of your money, because we smoke. I don't know about smoking. It's been a long time since I've been on these. Back when I partake, brother, just gonna keep it 100.
Yes, sir.
It was $5, and you could get 5 joints. So that was ancient history. I don't know, $5 probably won't get you no dust. So you might get a
Yes,
few
sir.
seeds. But my point is that we blow our money, and if we take that 600, just Google, got 600 stimulus. There are all kind of ideas.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, visit my page and inbox me, and I'll tell you some of the other things. Because we got a limited amount of time, and I like to spend time with folks because you know business is a science.
Yes,
You
sir.
can go broke. We spend a lot of money on
Yes, sir.
scratch tickets, weed, and drinking. And we say we don't have no money, but if you just add up how much weed you smoked in a year, how much cigarettes you smoked in a year, how much drink you smoked in a year, there go your house, there go your seed money to have your business.
That's a fact.
If you on this call and you from Baltimore or Detroit and you see all these abandoned buildings and your mama worrying about getting put out and you call yourself a hustler, man, go get put them stacks together and go get one of them buildings and learn how to paint and fix up something. And somebody put me on to something today. All the unions we need to join.
Yes, sir.
Carpenters Union, Mexico Union, Plumbing Union, Millside Union. They start you off about $20 an hour. But once you get in that union, learn how to use your hands. If college ain't for you, at least you can learn how to build a porch, learn how to sheetrock, and then take that abandoned porch, then put your mom and your grandmother in there. Maybe they on one floor, you live on the top floor, nobody got to worry about getting put out. I
Yes,
watched
sir.
Churchill when I lived in Richmond. Churchill, when I first moved there back in the 90s, was all run down. Now Churchill is where the millionaires and ballers live.
That's exactly where they live at. That's a fact, brother. That's a fact, big brother. So,
So
could you
every
again?
major city, the hood, buy the hood. Don't
Buy
sleep
the
on the
hood.
hood.
Buy
Buy
the
the hood
block.
and protect your hood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, is it anything that you want to leave the family with today? Again, please give them the email. I mean, not the email, the website where they can go to purchase the products, how they can order, and how they can stay up to date with you on social media.
One thing I want to say is to my people, brothers and sisters, if you are home and you got time on your hands, study. Pick up a book. They hide all the greatest knowledge of this world is in a book. Get yourself Message to the Black Man. Nipsey Hussle, Nas, many of the rappers, Busta Rhymes, they all read Message to the Black Man.
Yes, sir.
That book is what put me on. I was 16 years old in the street. Message to the Black Man put me on. So read books on business, read books on finance, read books on credit cards,
Yes, sir.
because in all of this information, it's a way to you'll make more hustle. I can show you how to make more hustle legitimately than you ever made in them streets, because that money in the streets gonna get you tied up in the court system, and them lawyers, it's all designed to eat that money up after you make it and then send you to the penitentiary.
Yes, sir.
ChefDarylsFoods.com, Instagram page Chef Daryl's, and Facebook. I love y'all. Uh, I hope that we can come together as a people. Stop hating on one another. Do you? And I'm
Yes, sir.
telling you, when you do good, good come back to you. Don't believe when you look in the mirror, see a God.
Yes, sir.
Sister, when you look in the mirror, see a God. You ain't no B,
Yes, sir.
and there's more. You more valuable than what?
Praise be to Allah. Well, that's it, family. Man, we are thankful for our brother Chef Daryl for stopping by the Campaign TV Show podcast to dialogue with us, talk about his entrepreneur journey, give us some insight on some different ways that we can make money. We can flip this $600 slap in the face that they gave us, because it is a slap in the face, like he said. But let's make use of it, and let's not be let's not be careless with it and go out and buy up a bunch of stuff that's not going to lead us to being productive and eventually stepping our game up. So again, man, thank you, Chef Daryl, for coming by. The website again is chefdarylsfood.com. chefdarylsfood.com. You can go there. You can order all of the different sauces that my brother showed us. The sweet and tangy, the honey mustard, and the hot and spicy. Not to mention, my man got breader for you if you still frying food. So if you got fried chicken, fried fish, you can order the Chef Daryl's bean pie, fresh. That's coming to you
This
fresh.
one right here,
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
telling you, this is the one right here. You
Yes,
get this?
sir.
Hey,
See,
and you know people ain't go front. Go see the reviews.
that's right.
People
That's right.
people call me say this one here is butter.
My man said go check out the reviews. So you got any issues with the pie, you can check out the reviews and it'll validate it for you, family. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you
Thank
for
you, King.
tapping in. Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Yes,
Love
sir.
you, sir.
Absolutely, black man. I love you too, black man.
All right,
Y'all be
ATL, we
blessed.
got to get this sauce down there. I might have
Yes,
to
sir.
send the king. I may have to send 10 cases to the king.
Come on now. Let's get it. Let's get it going, family. Hey, that's unity right there. That's what we talking about. 6 to 8 like-minded individuals, family. Thank you all for watching and listening, man. And we'll see you next week. Campaign TV Podcast. Peace.
Peace.